Ahmed was my favorite character. I wanted him to fall in love with a perfect, perfect Jewish American woman, for her to be everything that I was never, that I wished I could have been. No one who read those earlier versions liked her at all, and so I didn't know how to give her any flaws. I didn't, subconsciously, in retrospect, I could say I wanted her to be perfect. Without realizing it, but I wanted her to be everything that I wished I could have been. And so it was impossible for me to give her any flaws, so I just had to kill her off. Rachel Corrie, for me, when I think of her, in that orange reflective jacket, standing just with a bullhorn in front of one of those Israeli house-demolishing bulldozers, trying to defend a defenseless family. I mean, that is exactly what I wished I could have done. That's where I got the idea for Nora. I had seen where they had come from and how they interacted with their family. As an observer, I had so wanted to be a human rights activist after I left there. I had so wanted to help bring about peace between the Palestinians and the Israelis. And I came back to the States. I did my BA in Israel, in Jerusalem, in Middle Eastern Studies, and I came back to the States and I did my master's here, and I went on to law school, and I was doing my PhD, and I specialized in international law and human rights. I went to Cambridge University in England and took every course I could in those areas. And I was all set to devote my life to becoming a human rights activist when I jumped ship. And I think that, and I completely turned my back on everything that I had wanted to do. And the only way I could do that was bury it and pretend it never happened. And I never looked back. And then 15 years later, when I was reading The Kite Runner, the part where it said the past has a way of clawing its way out, for whatever reason, everything that was buried, all the things that I had seen, that I had wanted to act upon, that I had devoted my life to, were there. And I felt like I had to do something. And The Kite Runner sort of saved me, because there was a passage in which it said history and politics and religion are very difficult to overcome. And I realized, no, I had seen those overcome before with my own eyes. And it would be no problem for me to just go and write this story about the Palestinian and the Israeli who overcome these obstacles. Their love for science, basically is the bridge that helps them overcome these obstacles. And they work together to advance humanity. So I immediately decided I would write this, assuming that it would finish in 3 months. 7 years later, I complete the task. And that's where I got the idea. But I felt like I had wanted to devote my life as a human rights activist. But I could only help one person at a time. But as a writer, I could reach into the hearts of many and change the way that they looked at the situation. And I wanted people to see that we're all human beings, we're all equal, and we all deserve to live like human beings with equal rights.